Hi friends, welcome to Arnav. Today is the 10th episode in the biology series. So today we're still going to discuss about an organelle, the cell membrane. So for the cell membrane there are many names. One example of the name is the plasma membrane, which is the most used of those other names. So this cell membrane is a biological membrane that separates the interior of all cells or the intracellular space from the outside environment or the extracellular space. We can also call it matrix. So and this cell membrane also protects the cell from the environment or extracellular space. So the structure of the cell membrane is, the cell consists of lipid bilayer. Yes, a lipid bilayer made up of two layers of phospholipids, which is a type of lipid, with cholesterol. Yes, cholesterol is used in here. So this is the cell membrane diagram here. So here these blue and red ones are the phospholipids here. They look like heads and tails. Heads with tails. So the membrane also contains membrane proteins. So here the green things here are the membrane proteins. So there are three main types of membrane proteins: integral proteins or membrane proteins. So these integral proteins are these protein channel, this globular protein, and this integral protein here. In this diagram, these are the ones. So these will face the extracellular side and into the intracellural side, outside and inside the cell. So it faces both sides. Next, the peripheral proteins. So these proteins are the proteins which face the only one side, the intracellular side or the extracellular side. Not both of them at once, like these integral or transmembrane proteins. And finally, the lipid anchor proteins. These are proteins which are anchored to the lipid. They just anchor to it. Here there are no lipid anchor proteins anywhere. So the types of lipids are phospholipids, glycolipids, and sterols. Normally in cell membranes, phospholipids make up to 50% of cell membrane. 50%. A lot. So the phospholipids are the ones here with the tail and head. So next, glycolipids. So glycolipids make up only 2%. Yes, a very, very small 2%. So here in this diagram, the tall red ones here are the glycolipids. With the small glycoprotein into the middle. So this and sterols, which make up the remaining part. So cholesterol is a type of sterol. So this is sterols in black over here in the middle between these phospholipids. Phospholipids. So sterols are the cholesterol that are in your body and sometimes floating in your blood. So the cell membrane also contains carbohydrates. So I will explain a diagram once. So this is the cell membrane. It's a very long line. So this is the phospholipid bilayer. In cells, many things are made up of phospholipids. They make up vesicles and those things, but if they make a sheath-like thing, they are called bilayers. So phospholipid bilayers. So there are many other proteins on this phospholipid bilayers. Sometimes cutting the phospholipid bilayer, but just like a tube instead of just cutting it in half. So these are many proteins. For example, one use of a protein is the protein protein channel. So this protein channel is like a transport. Molecules go in or out of this protein channel. Yeah. And glycoproteins and cholesterol are also here. Yes, a lot are here. And also the phospholipids are made up of two main parts. A hydrophobic tail, a tail. Hydrophobic means scared of water, but here it means avoiding water. Yeah. Normally in humans, phobic means scared, but it doesn't apply to cells or small proteins because they don't have emotions. They're just dead things. And the hydrophilic head. Yes, a hydrophilic head. Similar words. Yeah, it is the red thing that is their head. Yeah. So phospholipids bilayers are made up of hydrophilic heads and hydrophobic tails. Yes, they don't swim around with their tails. They just stay in one place and just they do something with there. So now the structure is complete. So it is the functions of this cell membrane. So this cell membrane separates the intracellular components from the extracellular environment. So this is a cell and this layer is the cell membrane. So inside the cell is the intracellular, while outside the cell is the extracellular. You can clearly see the difference between them. Yeah. Okay. So it also plays a role in anchoring cytoskeleton. Yes, these cell membranes cells also have skeletons to provide shape to the cell. Yeah. So for example, this is a cell. It will have small microtubules which are if you don't know, microtubules are small organelles. So these are like bones in the skeletal system, but the skeletal system is like the cytoskeletal organelle system in a cell. So these lines are the microtubules here. So this cell membrane will support them to be in the place they are there. So yeah. So it attaches to the extracellular matrix and other cells to hold them together. Yes. To form other tissues. Yes. Like epithelial tissues, which this skin we have. So adhesion means this is one cell, this is another cell. They will be connected by a small adhesion. Adhesion, not addition. It sounds like addition, the maths addition, but it is adhesion without the T's. Yeah. So next, it also facilitates the transport of materials needed for survival of the cell. So transports of materials occur through the following ways. 1. Passive osmosis and diffusion. More erasing. Lots of more erasing. So I will erase this part too because there needs to be place, right? So okay. So this is a cell. So outside, for example, outside the cell there is more O2 the cell needs, but inside there is less O2. Yes, less. While here it is up, more O2. So in normal osmosis and fluid or gas, the molecule will go to the place where it is low. Yeah, from the high place to the low place until they are somewhat equal. So the plasma membrane allows this by diffusion. Yes, that means they'll mix together, like they'll go and spread to other places inside to the cell. Yeah, that is what diffusion means. So essential elements like O2 and CO2 also go out like this. So this is called passive osmosis. Yeah. So next, transmission through protein channels and transporters. Yeah. So there are some big molecules transported. So normally in the passive osmosis, only small molecules will go because they fit in those small gaps. But for big molecules, as we discussed earlier, on this cell membrane there will be small proteins. So here we are using the channel protein. So this channel protein has like a small hole where macromolecules, which are very big molecules, can go in and go out. Yeah, but this channel protein selects what goes in or goes out. Yeah, not randomly, they just get selected. Yeah, like volunteers to get nominated. Yeah. So next, the third one, endocytosis and exocytosis, both at once. So endocytosis is when the protein or thing goes into the cell, while exocytosis is when it goes out of the cell, just goes away, exporting. So for example, this is the cell membrane. So this is the intracellular and this is the extracellular, E and I respectively. So there are some important things like protein. So first, the endocytosis. So here it will just give us place and this protein will go inside to a vesicle. Yes, a vesicle, another organelle or the vesicle. But if it needs to go out, it will go out by the vesicle. So here this vesicle will fuse with the plasma membrane here. So then the protein will just go outside. It will be exported now from importing. So in addition, this cell membrane is also involved in a variety of cellular processes such as cell addition. They will just mix, I explained it. So ion conductivity, that means related to ions. It is a bit hard to explain, but that means it is a bit complicated. And cell signaling. Here if normally a cell gets damaged, it will release small particles called cytokines. So these cytokines will bring in immune cells. So the cell will only release the cytokines if it is getting damaged unnaturally, like for example a bacteria is beating this thing. So if that happens, it will release the cytokines. So here is another cell membrane of another cell, not the cell here, or we can use the other side of the cell. Yeah, so this is the cell membrane. So on cell membranes there will be important things called MHC class, MHC class 1s. There are also class 2s, but those are more important in immunity. We'll discuss about that in another episode. So these MC class 1s are very important. So in here, the cell will show what protein it is manufacturing. So an immune cell will see what is going on inside. So if it is good, then normal proteins are being manufactured, then it's okay. But if virus proteins are manufacturing, yes, when a virus infects a cell, it will make the cell to make virus proteins, to make more viruses. So then this cell, which are most likely the natural killer cells or killer T cells, which are immune cells, will kill that cell. But you may think, isn't it bad? It is bad, but it is very good. Yeah, because then the viruses will not reproduce that much anymore, but they can target other cells. Yeah, that's a small disadvantage. So yeah, that is the use of MHC class 1s. Yeah, so this is about the cell membrane. Very interesting. Bye.